ancient Egypt, life was good. But it was also fraught with inexplicable danger. To understand their universe, the Egyptians did a remarkable thing. They turned their hopes and fears into an astonishing array of deities and gave each of them a name. But even in the eerie realm of the supernatural, Egypt's gods and goddesses transcended the extraordinary. In Egypt, gods were plentiful, but they were also as complex and mysterious as the civilization that spawned them. Hathor, a woman with the horns of a cow, was the goddess of fertility, but when angered, she could also destroy humanity. Sekhmet, the lioness, symbolized the nurturing warmth of the sun, but she could also inflict its scorching heat. Selkit, the scorpion, could literally give or take your breath away. Her sting had the power over both life and death. The duality of the gods stemmed from an observation gleaned over thousands of years. The universe had both a good side and a bad. It had to be constantly checked and kept in balance. To maintain this delicate equilibrium, the Egyptians sought the help of the gods. Gods born at the beginning of time. According to Egyptian mythology, there was once no heaven or earth, no day or night, no life or death, only primeval darkness and water. Then, in a moment that mirrored the annual flood of the ancient Nile, the waters receded and land emerged, forming the mound of creation. From there, the creator, Ra, the sun god, rose for the first time, casting his radiant light on the world. Ra then created the deities of air and water and separated the earth from the sky, allowing the rest of creation to unfold. While a myth to explain creation is not unique, the Egyptian version was. To them, creation was not a single, isolated event, but an ongoing cycle of renewal to be repeated daily with the rising of the sun. The myth of creation was embodied in every temple throughout ancient Egypt. Unlike a modern house of worship, Egyptian temples functioned more like machines engineered to keep the cycle of the universe in motion and chaos at bay. Literally called the mansion of the god, each was carefully designed to mirror the cosmos at the moment of creation. Two large towers, called pylons, flanked the entrance. Designed to represent the horizon, they were aligned so that the sun rose between them. To ward off evil, the pylons were decorated with recurring images of the pharaoh overpowering his enemies. Inside, bathed in the life-giving rays of the sun, was the courtyard. This was as far into the temple as ordinary people could go. From there, a ramp led to a semi-lit hall filled with columns shaped like papyrus and lotus plants, representing the marshes which rimmed the edge of the rising mound of creation. Their buds and flowers evoke the fertility of creation about to unfold. Beyond lay the inner sanctum, where the statue of the god was the focus of a sacred ritual. Each morning, just before sunrise, a priest, cleansed for purity and draped in white linen, lights a torch to guide him through the darkness. In the inner sanctuary, he cleanses the air with incense to awaken the god who resides in a shrine prepared for his earthly visits. The priest identifies himself to the god. Only the king, a god himself, can stand in the presence of the deity unless he delegates his authority to a chosen one. "It is the king who sends me," says the priest. Then the shrine is opened, the god is unveiled, and the moment of creation is reenacted once again as it was in the beginning of time. The appearance of the sun evoked the true meaning and mystery of the universe for the ancient Egyptians, the promise of the continuation of life and the triumph over death.